All right, let's just jump right in. I want you to think back for a second, way back to when you were a kid. Was there a special spot, a corner of a room, a cozy nook, maybe even a closet that felt like it was 100% yours? You know the one I'm talking about. A place you felt totally safe, where your imagination could just go wild. Yeah, that feeling, that powerful sense of connection you have with a place. The feeling that a room is so much more than just four walls. That's not just you being nostalgic. It's actually something much, much deeper. And it's the real key to understanding why our homes mean so much to us. And it turns out you're not alone in feeling this way. Way back in 1958, a French philosopher, Gaston Bachelard, wrote this incredible book called The Poetics of Space, all about that exact feeling. He really wanted to get to the heart of why some places resonate with us on such a deep personal level. Now, Bachelard's big idea, for his time, this was completely out there. He basically said, look, if you want to understand a house, forget the blueprints, forget analyzing its function. He argued you have to understand it through the way we actually live in it, the way we feel and dream and remember inside its walls. Okay, so the approach he used has this kind of fancy name, phenomenology. But don't let the word scare you off. The idea is actually super simple. It's all about focusing on our direct, personal, lived experience instead of some big abstract theory. He wasn't interested in the history of all buildings. He was interested in the history of your bedroom. So you can really see the difference, right? Traditional architects might ask, how is this building put together? But Bachelard asks, how does this building make you feel? He totally flips the script, shifting the focus from the object, the house, to the subject, which is us. And for him, that's when things get really interesting because the house starts to look like a map of our own minds. He literally saw a house as this living, breathing thing, a sort of vertical being that stretches from the ground up to the sky, mirroring our own consciousness. And nowhere does this idea pop more than in his most famous example, the relationship between the attic and the cellar. Just think about it for a sec. The attic, it's up high, it's full of light. That's where we can think clearly, right? It represents our rational, conscious mind. But the cellar, oh, the cellar is a whole other beast, isn't it? It's down below, it's dark. It's the home of our irrational thoughts, our hidden fears, all the murky stuff in our subconscious. The entire house becomes a diagram of our own psyche. And this quote, this one really captures the soul of his whole philosophy. Bachelard believed that the dream house, the one we imagine we'll live in someday, is actually more vital for our spirit than the house we actually grew up in. Why? Because dreaming keeps us open. It keeps us full of potential. A house that's finished can feel like a story that's over. But a dreamed of house, well, that's a story you're still writing. And this way of thinking, this poetic, super personal approach, it was a total game changer. Seriously, its impact wasn't just for architects. This book lit a fire under thinkers in all sorts of fields, from philosophy and art to literary criticism. Just look at the reach this book had. Philosophers like Paul Ricoeur and Edward Casey totally ran with his ideas about imagination and place. The famous critic Camille Paglia said his method was ideal for art, and architects like Christian Norberg Scholz made it required reading for their students. What Bachelard did was give all these brilliant people a whole new language to talk about that deep, almost invisible link between our inner world and the spaces around us. So, at the end of the day, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. The places we live are never just neutral backdrops. They soak up our feelings, they become containers for our memories, and they actually help shape our dreams. Your home is basically your autobiography, just written in rooms instead of chapters. And you know what? You can try this yourself, like right now. Go on, pick a room, any room in your house. And for just a second, I want you to forget what it's for, forget its function. Just stand there and feel it. What memories are hiding in that corner? How many daydreams have started by just staring out that window? When you do that, you're not just spacing out, you're practicing Bachelard's philosophy. You're reading the poetry of your own space. Which really leaves us with one final big question. Do you see your home as just a structure for living, a box to put your stuff in? Or do you see it the way Bachelard did, as a launch pad for your imagination, a sacred space where you can truly and fully dream?